Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
So, can I request one of you to chant the Mangalacharanam prayers?
Sure, Prabhuji. May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahim Dadati Swapadantikam Andeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sagana Lalita Nitamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dheena Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaye Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Dandavat pranams Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, very happy to welcome all of you back for this session of Bhaktivriksha. We are continuing with our Bhagavad Gita study. We are in Karma Yoga chapter 3 and we left at shloka number 13, correct? The most important shloka, the Yajna Shishtasina Santo Muchyante Sarvatri Vishehi Bunjate Dogam Papa Yepachanti Atma Karanat. So the importance of offering Bhoga to the Lord before accepting Prasad has been emphasized. This is an important learning point for all devotees. All of us can review our practices on this basis. How much we can improve the quality of implementation of this one aspect. Are we regularly making Bhoga offerings to the Lord? How many times a day we are offering? What arrangements we have for making Bhoga offerings to the Lord? What kind of a plate, what kind of a hygiene level, how we prepare the food stuff? Are we tasting the food stuff before offering to the Lord? Are we presenting it in a beautiful way so that the Lord will be happy to glance at what we are offering? Are we topping it with a nice tulsi manjari or tulsi leaf on top of the food items? How nicely we are presenting it in front of the Lord. And after the offering is over, are we offering prayers to the Lord? And then we leave sufficient time for the Lord to accept the Bhoga, say, depending, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. During that time, there is one nice song we sing actually. You will see it in Vaishnava songbook. Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari, Sri Gaurahari, Sohi Goshta Bihari, Nanda Yasho Madi Chitta Hari. How many of you know this song? How many of you have heard of this song?
Yes, Prabhuji, we know it, but not by
We
heart.
learned it in
With the
Kirtan.
book. Yes, Papaji. Yeah.
Not by heart.
Yeah.
You see one hand going up, Lakshmi Venkateswara snowing. Kalikumar Ghosh Prabhu, you are aware?
Yes, Prabhuji, whenever I visit temple, this song I sing along with them. But I myself do not do that.
Okay, so this song, you should memorize it and you should.
Yes,
Meenakshi Shankar Mataji, you are aware of this song?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so this is a very important song. The meaning is very, very amazing. It's written by Bhaktivrikha Thakur, who was present when Krishna was honoring Prasad. along with so many of his Gopa friends. And along with his father and brother, he was sitting there and honoring prasadam. And through the window, Radharani and her Sakhis, who had prepared the prasadam for Krishna, they are watching how Krishna is relishing the prasadam. And so many items are being served, a huge list is given. And Krishna is accepting the prasadam happily. And then he's glancing through the window to acknowledge to Radharani, yes, the prasadam is very good. She's waiting for this. And she becomes so happy when Krishna is pleased with what has been offered. So Krishna, along with his friends, playing, joking, they are honoring the prasadam, so many items. And after that, Krishna is going up to wash his hands, and followed by all his other Gopa friends, they are all washing. Very fragrant water is given for rinsing his mouth. And then Krishna goes and occupies a very beautiful bed, which has been specially prepared for him. He lies down there. He is served by his friends. They are fanning him. They are offering him a nice pan, tambula, masala. Very, very nice, fragrant tambula is offered to him. And so Krishna is taking rest. In the meantime, Yashoda Mai is the mother. So Dhanishta Gopi, she is having the special service. She goes and collects the food remnants from Yashoda Ma, and with her permission, she brings it to Radharani. Radharani honors the remnants of Krishna's prasadam, and then she shares with all the gopis. The remnants of Radha and Krishna, that is honored by all the gopis, and they are all, while honoring it, they feel so much ecstasy. They are singing the glories of Radha and Krishna. And this is the song by Bhaktivrikha Thakur, who is also one of the Manjaris, who is personally present when these things are happening. So it is impossible to imagine the kind of blessings that are being showered on us just by somehow getting connected to the Gaudiya Vaishnava movement. Thanks to Srila Prabhupada and his followers. Somehow we have got connected. And these are all direct windows to the spiritual world where we are aspiring to go. Directly we are being exposed to that. Someone who is seeing it is actually presenting it to us. Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhoga Arati, Gaya Thakur, Bhakti Vinoda. The song ends like that. This is Bhoga Arati. So this is the song which we offer to the Lord when we make this Bhoga offering. So, so making this Bhoga offering to the Lord must be a very highlight of our life every day. It must be a highlight. Now the purpose of my day is being fulfilled by making this Bhoga offering. I exist for making this offering to the Lord, for the Lord's satisfaction. Because we work, we earn, we maintain a family, all for what purpose? To serve Krishna. And this is the amazing offering of Bhoga to the Lord, which is the goal. Eating is not our goal. Offering to the Lord is our goal. Then we eat the remnants. And because they are Krishna's remnants, they become relishable and honorable. So we honor the prasad. We don't enjoy the prasad. You know, who enjoys? Krishna enjoys. And what about us? We honor the prasad. And then what is my enjoyment? Krishna's enjoyment is my enjoyment. So this is the mood of a devotee. And this mood is cultivated in the association of pure devotees, in the association of books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, constantly hearing and reading. Slowly, slowly this mood develops. So ultimately, what is being told here is only what is offered and accepted by the Lord is fit for eating. By eating the prasadam, your existence gets purified. All your sins are destroyed. But if you cook for your own sense gratification and eat it, you are eating sin. Krishna is warning. We should not think that, oh, Krishna is so cruel. Why does he not want to enjoy good prasadam, good food? No, the point is Krishna is telling, look, when you forget that I am the life of your life, you will fall down. That's what Krishna says. Watering the root of the tree will survive. If the root is not watered, the tree will wither. So Krishna is asking us to remember always that he is the root. He is the center of our existence. in the Bhagavad Gita introductory course, I don't know whether I shared this story with you, maybe I did. One lady is having a nice golden cage, and inside that cage, she's having a small, beautiful bird. Every day, she is dusting the cage, polishing the cage, and nicely perfuming the cage and everything. But she is forgetting to feed the bird inside. So the bird dies after a few days. So same way, if I am only interested in beautifying my body, nicely maintaining my body, decorating my body, showing it off to others, but I neglect the soul. So we should remember, Krishna is the soul of my soul. Like my body has a soul, my soul has a soul. And that is Krishna. If I forget Krishna, my soul has no nourishment. It is Krishna who is the nourishment of my soul. So Krishna is reminding us, don't forget me. What is the use of maintaining your cage? You will never be happy. So take care of me. That's what Krishna is saying. Krishna is telling to his own children, where is the question of pride or anything in Krishna? Krishna is talking to all of us who have forgotten him to bring us back to him. And Krishna also tells very clearly, don't tell about me to others who are envious. Only tell those who have some faith, who are interested to know. Only to those innocent people you teach. So Krishna doesn't want to go and show off to everyone. Only to those who are interested in him, he reveals more and more about himself so that we can go back to him. By developing our love for him, we can go back to him. So that is the whole purpose. So this shloka we have finished. Now, let us go to the next few shlokas, which actually is a sequence. So let us read the few shlokas like that.
Prabhuji, just a query, Prabhuji. Just one small doubt. Prabhuji, actually, my Tulsi plant, I've come back to Himachal, Prabhuji, because of the weather condition that Tulsi plant has withered off. So I'm not able to keep the Tulsi leaf for the Bhoga, Prabhuji. So is it great sin or what? But I offer Bhoga every day. But the Tulsi, now I've got a new one. And one more thing is, Prabhuji, the Tulsi plant where we circumambulate, can we pluck the leaves from that same plant or another plant should be used?
Yeah. Minimum two Tulsi plants you must have. One is for worshipping, from which you pluck. Only the manjaris you will pluck.
Yeah, okay.
Without using your nails.
Nails, yes, Prabhuji.
And you should not pluck it on special days like Ekadashi, Dwadashi, such days, and important festival days. You should not pluck it.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm not doing that. Prabhuji, weekdays we can pluck, no, Prabhuji? Because in North and all, they say Sundays you should not pluck and all. Is it like that?
Yeah, no, if there are some practices, then you can honor that also. Why should we go against that?
Oh, yeah, because they say that you should not pluck it on a Sunday.
Because you see, sometimes, what I may share with you may also not be very complete. When you meet some more senior Vaishnavas, they may tell you a little more things. Please incorporate these things. It's not that, of course, you don't have to follow what a Karmi says, what a Jnani says, what a impersonalist says, what a Mayavadi says. You cannot follow all that. But those who really respect and worship Tulsi, then accept their ideas. Yeah. Because there will be always something, which all of us may not know. The point what I want to tell you is,
Hare Krishna,
even if you don't have, one second, let me finish this. Even if you don't have fresh Tulsi leaves, collect dried Tulsi leaves, Tulsi stems, Tulsi trunk. Whatever you can have them. In the season, you can buy nice fresh Tulsi leaves, nicely wash them, dry them in the sun, store them away, and you can use them.
Prabhuji, that is available in South India, but not here in North India. We don't get
When you come to South, many times, so you should correct it.
Okay, Prabhuji, that I'll
do. Or you can ask somebody to send it to you in a courier.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
But Tulsi is a very, very important part of offering.
Okay, Prabhuji.
We cannot it is said, even if you offer Chappan Bhog to Krishna, but there is no Tulsi, he doesn't accept it.
It is not upset. Yeah, very true, Prabhuji. That only, I'm in a guilt actually. Since last month I'm doing
Krishna says, Tadaham Bhakti Upahritam. That Bhakti is demonstrated by Tulsi Devi. Tulsi Devi is called Bhakti Devi.
Oh, yes. Hare
He is
Krishna.
the one who will plead on your behalf to Krishna. Oh, this devotee has made such a nice offering. Please give your mercy to the devotee. Like Tulsi Devi will pray to Krishna on our behalf. So why we should miss
Okay.
it? Same way, Tulsi worship is an important part of our daily deity worship. Worship of Tulsi Devi is an important anga of bhakti. Daily we should do
Okay.
Tulsi Archana. Okay.
Prabhuji, and one more thing I want to share is I had strawberry plants, Prabhuji, and I used to chant in front of it. Now it is blooming and giving me fruits, and every day I'm offering to Krishna. And it's really,
Very
I mean, tears really rolled down because it was really not giving any fruit at all since last 2 years. But now
good.
after I've come back, I've put manure and all. Now it has started flowering and fruits are just coming out like anything. So I'm so happy every day something new for it. And it is
Very
all
good.
Krishna's blessing only. So I feel so nice. I'll send the pic also, sir. Prabhuji. I want to share that. Really, it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
amazing. Hare
yeah.
Krishna. Thank
Very
you so
good.
much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mataji, you had some doubt. Supriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
I
Krishna.
also came to know that from Google, I was checking for how to maintain Tulsi plant. But it said that during Ekadashi days and Sundays, we should not even water Tulsi plant because Tulsi plant is also taking Vrida and we will be, it is said that I'm not sure whether it is correct. We should not water on Ekadashi days and Sundays. Is it correct, Prabhuji?
I am not sure. Maybe you can check in the temple and maybe next time you can share with us.
Because then I thought maybe is it correct because Ekadashi we are breaking Tulsi Murani's fasting. I also was thinking, so I just wanted to clarify whether it's true, whether I'm doing the correct thing. I'm watering every day, so I wanted to check whether it is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. No, actually, see, I don't want to comment on this because number one, I am hearing for the first time. Number two, I don't want to speculate. It's one very bad habit all of us have. I immediately want to speculate, when you say something. So I am holding back. I don't want to speculate anything. So, but let us ascertain more facts about this and then we will share it in the group. But till
Because,
now, we have been offering water to Tulsi and Ekadashi and all that because at least we should protect her in the
correct,
hot
correct.
sun and don't water my Tulsi Devi, she may wither away. So
Correct.
I should not be blindly, sentimental in such matters. So definitely we have to protect the Tulsi Devi by offering whatever protection we can give. So, but if there is anything like this, maybe if we hear something about it, we can share it in the group. But as far as I know, there is no such restriction.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji. I've been watering daily. So when I heard this, am I doing something wrong? I'm breaking Ekadashi fast of Tulsi Maharani, like that. All her doubts started coming. That's why.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. It's a very interesting line of thought. But yes, we don't touch her on that day. Yeah.
Okay, we don't pluck. Okay.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
from the other plant, any other plants also, not the plant that we are doing puja. The other plants also we should not pluck. No, Prabhuji, Tulsi leaf we should never pluck on Ekadashi days.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, some are saying Ekadashi as well as Dwadashi, Prabhuji. So there are so many different school of thoughts. Is it, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I think you can avoid both Ekadashi and Dwadashi. Yeah. Plucking.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, so let us move on to 14. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhava yajnad bhavati parjanyo
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
sarva samudbhava.
Sorry.
Yes, Mataji.
I have one doubt, Prabhu. Can we offer same Tulsi leaves what we offered before the day, Prabhu, for Boga?
No. Ideally, no. Yeah, but if there is some serious problem, because once offered the Tulsi also, we consider it as offered, no? So, because we are presenting it on top of food items, no?
Okay.
So, again, to take
We
it.
have to purchase a new Tulsi and we have to wash it, clean it, and then we have to Okay.
That's right.
Thank you.
And you see, if you are not able to regularly get, this is what I can suggest. No, you can buy a good quantity nicely dry it in the sun and then store them away in a nice box. So whenever fresh tulsi is not available, then you can use this one. So
Okay.
that is perfectly valid. That's quite acceptable.
Okay. Thank you. Correction.
Thank you. So 14th shloka is about Krishna is telling how the cycle, in modern science, we read a lot of cycle, no? Carbon cycle, water cycle, and everything is cycled, So like that here, Krishna is telling how life is sustained, the cycle of life, how life is sustained. How? Let us see here. All living bodies subsist on food grains. My body is built with food grains. Somebody may say, no, I'm a strict meat eater. Then also, the animals that you eat, they have to eat food grains only. So ultimately, it is from the plants that our sustenance comes. So either I am a vegetarian, directly take food grains, or the animal eats the food grains and I eat the animal. Either way, it is food grains that sustains living bodies. And the food grains are produced by rain. Unless it rains, the grain will not grow. So the rain, grain, and then the living body. And finally, how does the rain come? Rains are produced by performance of yajna. That is the fire sacrifice, yajna. And yajna is born of prescribed duties. Varnashrama, prescribed duty here is varnashrama. As part of varnashrama dharma, one has to perform yajnas. And by the performance of these yajnas, it brings rain. Actually, the yajna brings cloud, and the cloud brings rain. Rain brings grain, and with the grain, living bodies are sustained. So Krishna is telling this cycle. Now, modern man has forgotten. So let us understand how modern science is taking us away from the root of knowledge. It is cutting the root of knowledge. Now we think food comes from supermarkets, food comes from factories, milk comes in sachets. Many of the children, I am told, I was horrified. Children, when they were shown cows for the first time, they said, we never knew that our milk is coming from this animal. They said, we thought it's all coming from the factories, from the supermarket. The sachets or bottles we buy, that's how we get milk. So it's a factory produced item. They don't know. So this is how distant we have become from nature. No wonder our life is miserable. Living with nature, there will be less stress. When you live in a very unnatural way, artificial way, automatically stress increases because we are also part of the same nature. No? Krishna is telling, rain to grain to living body. We are all living bodies produced by grain. We are part of the same nature. We are not something distinct, but we try to isolate ourselves from nature as much as possible by building concrete structures. We are building concrete cities. We are building concrete houses. We are air conditioning everything. We are putting tarmac. What is that? Tar. We are putting tar on the surface so that no plant will grow. The entire surface is covered with concrete and tar. Nothing green can ever be seen. So we are isolating ourselves. When a little rain comes, we are horrified because our vehicles don't move on the road, water stagnating. We are saying, oh, why this corporation cannot even handle this? There is a water stagnation here. So we are so much alienated from nature. Nature scares us now. We have no proper harmonized relationship with nature. This is the kind of life we are leading. So Krishna is reminding this cycle. If the cycle is broken anywhere, there is chaos. And the key is prescribed duty. It all starts with prescribed duty. Yeah? The prescribed duty is karma samudbhavaha. The word karma is translated as prescribed duty. So karma is arising from varnashrama. Now varnashrama is gone. So now we have to invent what is our karma. But when varnashrama was there, everybody knew what their karma was. And things are happening very smoothly. So here the reference is to the Vedas. The Vedas give you the prescribed duties that we will see in the next shloka. So let us move on. So here some of the things what Prabhupada is saying. Food offered to Lord Vishnu and then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material affection. It's called disease, material disease. What is material disease? I am this body, this is mine, that is mine. This is called material affection. this is cured by eating Krishna Prasad. Therefore, a person in Krishna consciousness who eats only food offered to Krishna can counteract all reactions of past material infection. On the other hand, one who does not do so continues to increase the volume of sinful action. And this prepares the next body. The more sinful actions we do, it prepares the next body. And what Prabhupada says, next body to resemble hogs and dogs. Hog means pig. Our next body will be like a dog and a pig. Why? Because we only want to eat for sense gratification. So a pig only does. So like hog and dog. To suffer the reactions of all sins. The material world is full of contamination. And one who is immunized by accepting prasadam is saved from the attack. So Prabhupada says, eating prasadam is immunization, vaccination. When we eat prasadam, we are vaccinated against material affection, material infection. And another thing Prabhupada says here is, Supreme Lord is a Yajna Purusha. Yajna is sacrifice. Yajna is sacrifice. And Yajna Purusha is Lord Vishnu. And he is the primary beneficiary of all sacrifice. Vishnu is the beneficiary of all sacrifice. But the sacrifice is offered to various demigods who are the limbs of Vishnu. The sacrifice is done for various limbs of Vishnu and also the Supreme Lord Vishnu himself. And this is the process of Yajna. Different types of Yajna are prescribed for different purposes, but ultimately the beneficiary is Lord Vishnu. And all the limbs of Vishnu are the various demigods. They are in charge of various departments. And Prabhupada says, demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, they are the appointed officers of Vishnu. And Vedas tell us how to perform sacrifice to these people, to satisfy these demigods. When they are satisfied, what we will get? They will supply air, light, water sufficiently to produce food grains. And when we get food grains, what we should do? We should perform yajna. So the cycle has to go on, right? Man has to perform yajna. As long as we are doing yajna, the demigods will supply all our needs. So this is the main point here. Krishna is introducing the concept of yajna. Yajna means expression of gratitude. You have given me this, I am reciprocating. So the human beings are reciprocating to the demigod, and the demigods are reciprocating to human beings. When you do yajna, they supply whatever you need. And then Prabhupada, as usual, can one of you read the last line? 14, purport last line.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, shall I?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Even those who have not, is that you are asking to read, Prabhuji?
No.
Even those.
Yajna, specifically Sankirtana Yajna, that one, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prescribed for this age must therefore be performed to save us at least from scarcity of food supply. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhupada is moving away from fire sacrifice. Yajna means typically we understand fire sacrifice. But Prabhupada says, no. For this age, specifically Sankirtana Yajna. Perform Sankirtana Yajna, then offer nice food items with food grains, milk, sugar, etc. Offer it to the Lord. That is your Yajna. Then you accept the remnants of the Yajna. So Nama Sankirtanam is a Yajna, and the food items you nicely prepared and offer it to the Lord. That becomes Yajna directly to the Supreme Lord. And then the remnants you take, that is called Yajna Sishta. That by taking that you get purified. Okay, so Shloka 15 continues. Karma Brahmodbhavam Vidhi Brahma Akshara Samudbhavam Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam. Translation. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. In the last shloka, we saw one cycle. The cycle is further extended in this shloka. Last shloka ended with karma. Karma samudbhavam. Yajna karma samudbhavam. Yajna arises from performance of prescribed duties. Now in this shloka, where does prescribed duties arise from? So where it's arising from? From the Vedas. Prescribed duty means regulated activities. Prabhupada says, regulated. How you live, it is regulated. That is prescribed duty. And it is coming in the Vedas. And from where the Vedas have come? Vedas are directly manifested from Supreme Lord. So now you see how it is starting. It is starting from Supreme Lord. From Supreme Lord, you get the Vedas. That is your guide for material existence. When the souls are impregnated into the material world, the Lord also gave the Vedas. When demigods, the human beings, and the sacrifices, when they were sent to the material world, the Lord sent the Vedas. The prescribed duties are contained in the Vedas, Varnashrama. And from the Vedas, prescribed duties come. And from prescribed duties, what do you get? You get the Yajna. From Yajna, you get the clouds and the rain and the grain, and the living body is sustained like that. So this is the cycle of sacrifice. So we should remember it is directly connected to the Supreme Lord. So the Varnashrama life is directly connected to the Supreme Lord. And in Varnashrama life, there is no scarcity of anything. Not only that, there is no pollution. Now we are experiencing pollution externally and internally, outside and inside. Our hearts are highly polluted, and around the world we see the same pollution. But in a Varnashramic life, where you are executing regulated activities, prescribed duties, and performing yajna as a mark of gratitude to demigods, all your needs are fulfilled without having factories. All these factories from where we are producing all these unwanted things, that is causing all the pollution. If all our needs are nicely met, why should people eat non-vegetarian food, first of all? Why should we have to grow so many animals in inhuman conditions in factory farms and kill them in millions and billions? Please don't think I'm exaggerating. You can go into Google and see how many animals are slaughtered worldwide every day. You will get statistics. You can ask how many goats are killed every day, how many cows are killed every day, how many chicken are killed every day. You can ask, you will get answers. Billions of lives are being killed every day for the sake of satisfying tons of people. And how they treat them, they kill them and they grind them together, the whole bodies. Horrible. So in the name of civilization, we have degraded so much. Our connection with God has been totally snapped. So now when we read these things, these connections are, our memory is being rekindled. Oh, there is a connection with Krishna in everything. So that's what we are seeing here. So yajnartha karma, meaning the work is done only for satisfaction of Krishna. So that is expressed here. When we work for the happiness of Krishna, that's called akarma. Otherwise, if we work for our own happiness, either it becomes vikarma or karma. Both will produce side effects. Karma will produce piety, vikarma will produce sin. Either way, you have to take birth to experience that. Our aim is to do akarma, which is purely for the happiness of Krishna, with no ulterior motive. Simply, we do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. So Prabhupada is emphasizing on that. So this is the main message here. So here it is said, okay, these things we can see. So Prabhupada is teaching us how Vedas are important. See, once you have come to Bhakti, Vedas are not important, but still we should know. Sometimes, devotees speak degradingly about Vedas. That we should not do. That I have become a devotee now. I should not speak ill of Vedas, but clearly Krishna is telling, Vedas have come from me, from the Supreme Lord. So let us understand what the Vedas are there for. Vedic directions are so made that one can satisfy one's perverted desires, then return to Godhead after finishing his so-called enjoyment. It is a chance for the conditioned soul to attain liberation. Therefore, the conditioned soul must try to follow the process of yajna by becoming Krishna conscious. Even those who have not followed the Vedic injunctions may adopt the principles of Krishna consciousness, and that will take the place of Vedic yajnas or karmas. So beautifully proved. It is not there in the shloka. It is not there in what Krishna spoke. But Krishna's pure devotee is adding more things in the purport to make it practical for us. Otherwise, when you read these shlokas, you will not see the connection. What is this? Krishna is talking about some fire sacrifice and all that. In any case, I am not doing, I am not competent to do, I don't know how to do, etc. But Prabhupada is connecting, giving you the knowledge. Why the Vedas are there? Vedas are there to satisfy your desires. Because we are all conditioned souls, we have got so many desires. The Vedas are guiding us, perform this yajna to satisfy this desire. Don't foolishly open factories. Okay, these are legitimate desires, these are illegitimate desires. Give up the illegitimate desires. Legitimate desires, fulfill them by performing yajna as given in the Vedas. By doing it, slowly, slowly your desires will become satisfied. One day you will become liberated. This is what Prabhupada is saying. This is how Krishna has given. That means those who are not able to take up to the path of bhakti, they are given the path of yajna. They are given the path of regulated activity by following the Vedic scriptures. So either you follow the bhakti scripture of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or you follow the Vedic scripture which guides you on Varnashrama path. Anybody has any doubts on these points, what we have spoken? Any clarifications required? Okay, because these things we have already discussed several times. I hope you all understand. Let us go to 16. Now chakram. See the word chakram is coming here. Eva pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati yaha aghayur indriyaramo mogam partha sajivati. My dear Arjun, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, chakra, thus established by the Vedas, certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for satisfaction of senses, such a person lives in vain. So you should follow the chakra. Chakra means from the Supreme Lord, Veda, from Veda, prescribed duty, yajna, like that the cycle. You cannot directly break it and say, okay, I go to work, I earn money, I cook food, I buy material, I cook food and I eat. You are breaking the cycle. When you break the cycle, your life becomes sinful. Life becomes sinful. So please understand, outside of Krishna consciousness, everybody's life is sinful in this world. So there is an emergency to spread Krishna consciousness in this world. Otherwise, the billions of human beings will degenerate into animals, birth after birth after birth. Just by coming into Krishna consciousness, just by beginning Krishna consciousness, there is a guarantee that you will not become an animal in your next life. There is a guarantee of human form of life next time. And this is such an emergency, this message has to be taken to people. At least bring them to the threshold of bhakti so that they will not degrade in the next life into an animal. Otherwise, the world around is so sinful, so highly polluted. That is the point which is being made here. That they are leading a life of sin only. Their life is a waste. Krishna is saying, because, see, an animal's life, there is no particular purpose. An animal lives and dies. So that life is not a waste. But a human being living like an animal without knowing that there is a purpose. What is the purpose of human life?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. May I
Go
try,
back to
Prabhuji?
Godhead,
To serve
Prabhuji.
Krishna, to serve Krishna and go back to Godhead.
Go back to
Yeah.
Godhead. Prabhuji.
Yeah, in very simple terms, a soul is locked up in this body. We have to free that soul. A soul is locked up for millions of lifetimes. Body to body to body to body, it is transmigrating. When we are going to liberate that soul? Only this human life is the chance. We can free that soul. Otherwise, it is caught in this machine of material existence, throwing here and there, struggling, suffering, born, dying. We have to free. That is the purpose of human life. Animal life, there is no scope at all. So they live and die. That's okay. But if a human being also lives like an animal, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, ahara, nidra, bhayamaituna. If a human being is only doing these 4 things, then he is no better than an animal. Then the sloka Krishna says, he lives in vain. He lives in vain. So either we should follow Sankirtana Yajna. If we don't follow Sankirtana Yajna, we should follow this Evam Pravartitam Chakra. This cycle that has been established by Krishna, we should follow that. This cycle which is established by Krishna, that should be followed. Or I should follow Krishna consciousness. If I follow Sankirtana Yajna of Krishna consciousness, I reach the highest destination. Or if I don't do that, at least if I follow this Evam Pravartitam Chakram, then at least I won't degrade myself. Slowly, I will purify. Someday I will become a devotee. Someday I will attain liberation. But if I don't do both, then I degrade into animal species. So let us understand the urgency which is inherent in the human form of life. The world will go on, but once I die, my chance will be gone forever if I don't come to Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is also telling the purpose of yajnas is to eventually bring us to Krishna consciousness. The purpose of yajnas is to please Krishna, to please Vishnu. But if we forget that, if we simply perform yajnas to satisfy our own wants, but if we don't come to the point of pleasing Krishna or understanding that my aim is to please Krishna, then also my purpose is defeated. The purpose of all these yajnas is to slowly make you Krishna conscious. Okay, but if I don't become Krishna conscious, then that process also, I am not getting the full benefits of that. What will happen? Many more lifetimes it will take. Whereas, if someone has become Krishna conscious, if he does not perform all these other yajnas, nothing is lost. Everything is included in Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everything is included in Nama Sankirtana Yajna. So Prabhupada says, if you can't do all those things, come join us and start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in a spirit of surrender to the Lord, and your life will become perfect. That's shloka number 17. Yastvatmaratir eva syat atmatriptascha manavah atmanyeva cha santushtas tasya karyam na vidyate. But for one, Krishna is now taking us to a different level. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. You remember last 2 slokas, we were talking about prescribed duty. Karma samudbhavam, prescribed duty. From where prescribed duty comes, by performing prescribed duty, what do you get? All that was explained by Krishna for a particular set of people. So you should remember, Bhagavad Gita is a world document. It is for everyone. But we are all not on the same platform. We are all on different platforms. Somebody is Sattvagun, somebody Rajogun, somebody is Tamogun, somebody is different mixtures of these gunas. We have all different levels of past karmic baggage. So we are all different. So when Krishna speaks, we should also see who is the target, who is addressed by Krishna. Up to now, Krishna talked about prescribed duties for those people who want to enjoy sense gratification in this material world, either in this lifetime or in the next lifetime, either in this planet or in the heavenly planet. For such people, Krishna spoke the previous slokas. But now Krishna is saying, actually, Arjuna, for some people there is no duty only. Up to now, Krishna says, prescribed duty one should do. Right? It is given by Vedas, it is given by me, you have to do. But in this sloka, Krishna is saying, there is no duty. Tasya karyam na vidyate. There is no duty for them. For who? For those who are into self-realization. Atma Rama. They are taking pleasure in the soul. By realizing the true self, they are getting happiness there. Their human life is meant for self-realization. And they are satisfied in the understanding of the Atma. For them, they are fully satisfied. Why there is duty? So understand, if you are fully satisfied, there is no duty. If you are fully satisfied. But you are fully satisfied only by knowing the self. No one else is fully satisfied. So one who has become a jnani by knowing himself, for him there is no duty. So karma yoga to jnana yoga, Krishna is shifting the gear. So you have to understand, even though we are in karma yoga, Krishna is describing what is karma, what is akarma, what is vikarma, and for whom there is no karma only. There is no need for any karma for such a person. 18. Let me see 17, what the Lord has purports. So, when someone is a devotee, his duty is self-eliminated by the grace of the Lord. And therefore, a devotee has no obligation to the Vedic injunctions. A devotee has no need to follow Vedic rules. Vedic rules are there to fulfill your material desires. But when you have no material desires, the Vedic rules no longer apply to you. So what rules will apply? Can you answer this question? Vedic rules do not apply. Vedic rules are talking about yajna and so many other prescribed duties. So Vedic duties don't apply to a person who is in Krishna consciousness. So what rule will apply? Question is clear?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, rules given by the spiritual master, Prabhuji.
So bhakti rules will apply. Bhakti scriptures will
Nama
apply.
Sankirtanam, Prabhu. Nama Sankirtanam.
Yeah, the whole thing, that is, as Mataji said, whatever we get from spiritual master, from the Vaishnava acharyas, from the bhakti scriptures, that is applicable to us. Vaidi sadhana. So Vaidi sadhana. What is Vaidi? Vaidi comes from Veda only. Rules. So the Vaidi means following of rules. So, but what rules? Bhakti scriptures. No longer the Vedic scriptures. So for those who have material desires, Vedic scriptures will apply. But for those who have taken to the path of bhakti, then only bhakti scriptures will apply. So we should never get confused that, oh, Vedas, Vedic rules are there, in my family, this tradition is followed, that tradition is followed, I am being asked to follow all these things. We should understand that for a devotee, you have to strictly follow devotional rules, not the rules of karma or jnana. They are not applicable. If you try to follow everything, you will get confused. You should know our goal is to go back home, back to Godhead. For that, only bhakti rules are applicable. And you get the bhakti rules from Acharya, from the spiritual master, from the bhakti scriptures, under their guidance. So this is what is relevant. So Prabhupada is saying, a devotee has no obligation to the Vedic injunctions. Such a person is no longer interested in material activity and no longer takes pleasure in material arrangements like wine, women, and such things. People want to enjoy these things, so they want to go to heaven. These are available in heaven. Wine, women, and similar infatuation, everything is available in heaven. So they want to perform yajna and go there. But for a devotee, he doesn't care. So no such rules are applicable. Shloka number 18. Naiva tasya krite nartho na krite neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschid pashrayah. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties. Nor has he any reason not to perform such work. Krishna is shifting gear again. Nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. Okay. So, a self-realized man. Who is a self-realized man? Can someone tell me?
one who thinks to liberate one's Atma.
Sorry, say that again, Mataji.
One who wants to liberate one's Atma, to back to God.
Yeah. A self-realized man is one who knows that I am a spirit soul. I am not this body. And I am eternally the servant of Krishna, life after life after life. I only want to serve Krishna. I am his eternal servant. This makes him a self-realized soul. Even if you are only a sadhana devotee, if you have this knowledge, you become a self-realized soul. After that, all your actions are guided by this one goal, how to go back to Krishna and serve him eternally. What should I do now so that I can go back to Krishna and serve him eternally? So for such a person, see here, for such a person, what is the need to perform prescribed duties? Can you answer? Such a person, supposing he performs prescribed duties, what he will get? Come on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
If a person in Krishna consciousness, even if he performs prescribed duties, it will be on the plane of Krishna. Consciousness will be on Krishna, Prabhuji. So that will be like a karma.
yeah. So, but the point is, why should he first of all do prescribed duties?
We can't sit idle, Prabhuji. We have to do some duties.
No, understand the question correctly. A prescribed duty is performed because it is prescribed. That's why it becomes a prescribed duty. Correct? So, does a devotee perform a duty because it is prescribed? Confusing?
To prescribe yajna, Prabhu.
Yeah, but a devotee is performing Sankirtana Yajna, which is the highest yajna for this age. We saw just now Prabhupada telling. Correct, na?
Yes, Prabhu.
So why he is doing all these other prescribed duties? So
To,
basically,
to maintain his own body, Prabhu. To maintain his own body.
but that is different, you see. Then it is not prescribed duty.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
Is it because soul is always active and he has to keep?
See, that is from a different angle. I know from where all of you are coming, but that is a different angle. See, right now we are discussing purely in terms of prescribed duties which arise from the Vedas and which are performed for achieving your material desires to enjoy either in this planet or in the heavenly planets. That is so. This is described prescribed duty. It is given in the Vedas. You perform it in the process of yajna, and that way you attain the desires fulfilled. Now, why does a devotee perform prescribed duties? Definitely not for fulfilling material desires.
He will no longer do that, Prabhuji.
See, even if he does that, as you answered in the beginning, but he's not doing it because there is a prescribed duty. That is what you should understand. One of you answered he has to maintain his body. Yes, for maintaining his body, he may do. But then it is no longer a prescribed duty. Prescribed duty means you are obeying an order and doing something. But as a devotee, you are no longer obeying the Vedas because you are obeying the Bhakti scriptures. You are obeying your spiritual master, and there may be conflict between what Veda says and your spiritual master says, and what the Bhakti scripture says. So, there is no more prescribed duty for a devotee. A devotee should no longer bind himself in the concept of prescribed duty. So, that is what Krishna is telling. Not that the devotee will not do anything, he will become idle, the soul is very active, it has to be always doing something. All these answers are accepted. But it is not applicable as a prescribed duty. Prescribed duty is only for those dharmartha kama moksha. Those who are following the varnashrama system to fulfill their desires, for them these prescribed duties are there. So here Krishna is clarifying, for one who has become self-realized, one who knows I am not the body only, I am an eternal spirit soul, I have nothing to do with this body and these bodily activities. To such a person, Krishna says, he has no need to discharge his duties. He has no prescribed duties to discharge. But then he adds, you see, second part, that's why he said he is shifting here. Even though a self-realized person has no need to perform duties, But he still performs such work, not because it is prescribed duty, but as a loka sangraha. Meaning, he doesn't want to confuse the rest of the world by avoiding duty. Then what will happen? See, so-and-so is a great devotee, but he's not doing all these duties. So perhaps I also need not do. He's a good role model for me. So he's not doing his duty. So I will also not do. They will, you understand, they will neither take up bhakti, but they will give up the prescribed duty also by seeing the role model. So a self-realized person has no need to perform prescribed duties, but there is no reason for him not to do it also. What he will gain by not doing? He has nothing to do only. By not doing prescribed duty, what he will gain? Or by
Others will, sorry, Prabhuji, sorry
yeah,
for
go
the
on.
interruption.
No, go on.
Sorry for the interruption, Prabhuji.
No, no,
Others
please.
will copy him and they will sit idle and they will imitate Prabhuji. So that will become a bad example.
Exactly. Because you are setting a bad example for others. Because they don't understand you fully. They don't understand why you are not doing. Secondly, Krishna is telling there is no reason. By not doing prescribed duty, do they want to simply lie down and sleep? They very well can. But why would they? Because they are interested in the welfare of the rest of the world, they will continue to do work. And then he says, he has no dependence on any other living being, including demigods. He's saying living being, that means demigod also. So a self-realized man has nothing to gain from demigods also. So why he will do yajna to demigods? He doesn't have to. But same time, he has no reason not to perform, meaning he's not a lazy man. A self-realized man is not a lazy man. He's not looking for some excuse not to perform duty. We are like that. We are like that. But a self-realized man is not like that. He's not lazy. He's not a person in Tamogun of all people. A self-realized man is in the highest Sattvagun. So this point has to be understood. So when we read Gita, we should catch the context. Oh, why does Krishna contradict himself in every shloka? He's changing gears, that we should understand. He's taking it to higher and higher levels of understanding. We are in the 3rd chapter, but Krishna is giving higher understanding. But Prabhupada is giving even higher understanding to us out of his costless mercy. Because Prabhupada knows people may not even read the Gita fully. So let me tell them the best in the right from the start. And Prabhupada is giving us everything right from the beginning. Okay, so I think our time
One
is...
doubt, Prabhuji, that means Uttama Adhikari is a self-realized man and he's in the full Sattva Guna. What? Uttama Adhikari.
Uttama Adhikari is in Suddha Sattva.
Shuddha Sattva. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still higher than the self-realized man.
No, see, Suddha Sattva has nothing to do with the 3 modes of material nature.
Okay.
Even though the word Sattva is appearing in Suddha Sattva, it has no connection with Sattva. Yeah, it is pure, it is completely pure beyond the Sattva also. That's why it's called Shuddha Sattva. It is beyond the Sattva also. So anyone who has reached liberation is called transcended the 3 modes of material nature. Yeah, they transcend the modes of material nature. But Suddha Sattva is a title we typically give to the pure devotees only, not to the Jivan Muktas and all that, even though they can also claim, because they are also beyond the 3 modes of nature. So everything is based on the 3 modes. If you transcend the 3 modes, you are reaching the Suddha Sattva platform, Brahma Bhuta platform.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
I have just a view. My view is that, Prabhuji, like a person